So what's up, guys? It's AJ and David here. And we hope you're having a Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah or whatever you celebrate, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever. But we know that since we haven't brought you a YouTube video in a while due to our schedule, we thought that since it's the end of the year and you know we love movies, and lots of my subscribers love movies, we decided to rank our worst movies of 2014 and our best movies of 2014. So it's a top 10 list, and we also have some honorable and dishonorable mentions.
And
so
our guest today
is
the
Jules from
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, it's a nice action figure. So first off, we have our worst movies of 2014. Now, keep in mind that both of these lists might be very controversial to you because a lot of people disagree with us. Some people thought these movies were great. We disagreed. And we know at number 10 will blow your minds that we thought this, but you'll have to deal with it. And also the best one, there are some movies on there that people thought were really bad. But first off, for our dishonorable mentions for the worst movies of 2014, we have Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit. Now, going into this movie, we had some really high hopes. It looked like a really good movie. But in the end, it was a bit too short. There weren't, enough big, mind-blowing, cool action scenes that we would expect.
I thought it was pretty... I thought it was kind of boring.
Yeah.
The only, suspenseful part was, at the end where, the car, went, straight down into the water.
Yeah, I think the ending was a bit too deliberate because, it just ended too fast, and, after the last scene, it kind of seemed like the movie was going to keep going, but then it just ended so fast. But yeah, so Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit. Then next in our dishonorable mentions is God's Not Dead. Now, I saw this, but David did not see this. Now, I actually didn't see this in theaters. I rented it from Redbox when I was on vacation, because I had nothing else. I had nothing better to do, really, so I watched this with my family. I'm going to be honest with you. This was one of the biggest pieces of garbage I've ever seen in my whole entire life. First of all, terrible acting. Second of all, terrible plot. Third, too dramatic. And it was just garbage. Biggest piece of hunking garbage you will ever watch in your life. I promise you, do not watch this movie. It was so bad. So bad.
Seems like a load of crap.
Yes, exactly. Load of crap. Next on our dishonorable mentions is Rio 2. Now, we both saw this one. It looked like a pretty good movie. I mean, the first one was exceptionally good. I mean, it's not like it's one of the best anime movies of all time or something. But, Rio 2 failed to do as well as the first one did. Well, not at the box office. It made lots of money. One of the highest grossing movies of the year. Yeah, so... wait, give me 1 second. I need to add something to the best movies list I forgot about.
And leave in the comments what you think about this video and how you think we rated everything.
Yeah, sorry, I just need to add something. It's really important.
There were a lot of good movies this year.
Yeah. So, then next, this is the last on our dishonorable mentions list. The Other Woman with Cameron Diaz, Kate Upton, and Leslie Mann. Now, going into this movie, this looked hilarious. A great movie with, a female-led cast, and it was pretty funny. Again, I walked out of this theater thinking it was a big piece of garbage because, it was too stupid of a revenge movie. Kate Upton was garbage. I mean, as hot as she is, she can't act for anything. But... yeah, I mean, Cameron Diaz was okay. Leslie Mann was good. She was probably the best performance of the movie. If anyone had best performance, I mean, it was just a garbage movie. But now on to our actual list. Now, as I said, number 10 is going to be a little bit traumatizing for certain people that love this movie, but...
I did not see this movie.
Yeah, she did not see it. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Now, save your booze for later, because this is why I didn't like this movie. First of all, I did love Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I am a big fan of the franchise. I I thought it was gonna be really good. I was really excited for this, and when I walked out of the theater, I was actually really disappointed because I thought it was gonna be really good. I thought that a new cast member was gonna be good, like Jason Clarke. But I thought that the story was a bit too like dry. And I there was a bit like there wasn't enough like action. There was just too much drama going on. I hated how they didn't talk about what happened to James Franco ever since Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I didn't like that because I wish they had explained, and it was just really disappointing to walk out of that theater not liking that. But yeah, it wasn't that good. Number 9, I think you're gonna agree with me on this one, is The Expendables 3. Now we were actually really excited for this because
the first 2 movies were like phenomenal.
Amazing, and the second one got lots of critical applauds, and it was really good. But what I really didn't like was that they brought in lots of young cast members.
I like the original characters. Yeah. Stallone has always been great in that
Schwarzenegger.
Movie. Yeah.
And like the new characters like Kellen Lutz from Twilight. They added even people that we didn't even know, and they took out a bunch of characters like Jet Li.
He was like in there.
He was in there for like 20 seconds at the end. I hated that because he was like working with someone else. The only new person I actually liked they brought into the cast was Antonio Banderas, but he was hardly in the movie.
And he was kind of the person who made the movie kind of funny.
Yeah, it was really cool, but it was terrible how they only let him have like the end scene, and like it was really bad. Like, and the new cast members weren't even just young. They brought in like Kelsey Grammer, and there was no point for that. He was garbage. And the movie just failed to be as like fun and entertaining as the other movies were. Like
it should have been rated R.
Yeah, I hated how they went from the R-rated like movies to the PG-13 because the R-rateds were like badass and awesome.
They had so much suspense. Like you were allowed to show a guy like fall into a helicopter.
And there wasn't even one drop of blood that we saw in the movie. Like, that's how, like, babyish it was, and we liked it when it was the R-rated sort of thing. That was the
And, like, the end cool scene with, Stallone and,
Mel Gibson.
Gibson, yeah. I just didn't like that scene. I think it was cool how it was, like, Braveheart versus Rocky kind of type thing.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. But, I just thought that, like, scene wasn't, like, cool enough. Like, it was just like fighting. It just wasn't.
Yeah,
as
but
good as
I did like the end scene because it was a bit chaotic and a bunch of stuff was going on at once. But also, I did like that they brought in Wesley Snipes. He was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I didn't like how there was like a part where like Stallone kicked out all the old Expendables and made the new ones come in, and they didn't show up until like the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And like Terry Crews was like out for the whole movie, and that sucked. But yeah, it was just pretty bad. And I heard they're going to make an Expendables 4, and it's going to have Hulk Hogan and The Rock, which may be a new addition to it might be a cool new addition. And they're also, this is actually a definite, they're making the Expendables. And the lead is going to be Sigourney Weaver, and they're actually, each female character is going to try to resemble an actual character from the Expendables, which is pretty cool.
Isn't Chloe Grace Moretz?
Yeah, I think she is going to be in that.
Do you know who she's supposed to represent?
I think she's supposed to represent Jason Statham, but I forgot. But someone. Number 8 is Sin City: A Dame to Kill For. No, I actually wasn't that disappointed when I walked out of the theater for this. I mean, I love the first Sin City. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm a big fan of Robert Rodriguez. I love Machete and Machete Kills. I mean, I know not a lot of people like Machete Kills, but I thought it was okay. But Sin City, I was actually surprised about this. It made like no money, made like $16 million, like nothing. It wasn't even like the top 10 its first week at the box office. I think first of all, it was a really bad week to come out because everyone was like on vacation. And I remember the day I went to go see it, there was, like, no one in the theater, like, maybe 3 other people. And The thing is, I didn't like how they added in a bunch of other stories besides A Dame to Kill For. I mean, they were good. I liked how there were a bunch of new additions to the cast, like Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He was like probably the best part of the movie.
Great actor.
Yeah, but I didn't like how they weren't clear about a bunch of stuff. But I did like how it was more understandable than the first one. Like the first one was pretty confusing.
I've only seen the first one once, and I'm still confused.
Yeah,
I can see how it might be like better. Do you know why most people didn't like it? It was because
they said that it was just overly stupid and I don't know, and that the only actual part of the movie that they said people liked was the Dame to Kill For one that was the actual point of the movie, but they added other parts.
So it was generally stupid.
Yes, and it was just really unrealistic, way worse than the first one. But yeah, number 7 is Exodus: Gods and Kings. In a way, this movie was actually sort of decent. I mean, it was totally inaccurate. Probably one of the worst movies that Ridley Scott's ever done. And I think he's been going way downhill. I mean, I loved Prometheus. I believe that was the last movie he did. No, he did The Counselor. That was garbage. The Counselor was the worst movie of 2013. Do not go see it. It's overly violent for no apparent reason. It's overly sexual for no apparent reason. And it was just so bad. I actually had great expectations of it. It had such a great cast. I mean, Michael Fassbender, Penelope Cruz, Cameron Diaz, Brad Pitt, Javier Bardem, and of course Ridley Scott as the director. But it was so bad, and it was a big honking piece of garbage. And but I loved Prometheus, but surprisingly, a lot of people didn't like it. And I don't know, but
I mean, I don't think Exodus was that bad.
Yeah.
I just think how it's inaccurate, how Ramses lived at the end. Is there gonna be a second one? Was that just a cliffhanger that they're not gonna make a second one? I just think that part was stupid. They had nothing else to do. I don't see why they could have be realistic.
Yeah.
It would have been better that way.
And the cinematography was terrible. The special effects were way too over the top and they looked so fake. And the only person that was actually really good in the movie was Christian Bale. The direction was terrible. Joel Edgerton was terrible. It's probably the worst role I've ever seen him in, which was surprising. Sigourney Weaver was in the movie for 2 minutes. And John Turturro was in the movie for 2 minutes.
Aaron Paul was only in there for
Aaron Paul was actually in there the whole movie, but no one noticed that was him. I remember at the beginning of the movie, I noticed it was him because they showed him, but then
they didn't have that many they weren't making him as important as other characters.
but throughout the movie, the dude with the beard, he looked different from what he did from the beginning of the movie. So I didn't even realize that was him until the end of the movie. I knew he was supposed to be in the movie, but then I didn't know where was Aaron Paul. And I wish he had a bigger role because he did great. It was Christian Bale and Aaron Paul that were good. And the end was just so inaccurate, I can't even tell you, and it was just garbage.
And in the credits, Aaron Paul was, one of the first people there, and, I was where was he in the movie?
Yeah. But number 6 is probably agreeable, Divergent.
It sucks.
So bad.
We're gonna see Insurgent, but,
It's a train wreck!
It's,
Have you seen the trailer for Insurgent? It looks worse than Divergent. Allegion's probably gonna be worse than all, it just looks so bad. No, it was just so bad. Divergent. Oh my god. It looks so good. I didn't even read the book, but it looks so good. And I think maybe the first 15 minutes were good. But the rest of that movie, I can't even tell you how bad this movie was. I mean, first of all, Shailene Woodley's acting. Garbage. Second of all, Theo James' acting. Garbage.
Terrible.
Third, the plot. Garbage. The love romance stuff. Garbage.
It should have been a complete action movie. That's at least it would be slightly better, I guess. I just don't like how so much of it was it's just this and that and this and that and this and that and this and that.
The only people I liked in the movie were Jai Courtney. Who else do I like? Julie Andrews and Ansel Elgort. I mean, Ansel Elgort was actually pretty good. Even though I'm sick of him from The Fault in Our Stars and everything. But I like Jai Courtney. I actually like him in all of his movies. He was really good in the last Die Hard movie, even though that wasn't that good. I mean, I liked it. It was pretty decent, but a lot of people hated it. He's going to be in the new Terminator movie. He's actually the lead role with Jason Clarke, too, and the lady who plays Sarah O'Connor and Arnold Schwarzenegger. But yeah, this movie was a honking piece of garbage. And then all girls said it was good. Girls were the only people that said it was good because the movie was so bad. But I hear the book is supposed to be good, so I may be reading the book because I heard the book's supposed to be good, and that's why everyone loved the movie. But the movie was garbage. Number 5, Think Like a Man 2. I mean, I loved the first Think Like a Man. I thought it was hilarious, and especially with Kevin Hart and
Kevin Hart
Michael
was
Ealy.
like the funniest.
Kevin Hart was the only good person in the movie.
He's like a hilarious actor.
Yeah. First of all, the movie was too short. I hated how it took place in Las Vegas, which made the movie even worse. Like bachelor party stuff, and the end was just garbage. Like, I'll spoil it. They didn't make it in time for the wedding, and it was just so stupid. And the acting was the only person I liked in the movie was Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is the only good person in movies that are bad when he's in a movie that's bad. Like, I bet if that new movie with Josh Gad and Kaley Cuoco speaking The Wedding Ringer, I bet if that movie sucks, he's probably going to be the only good person in there. And maybe Josh Gad might be good if it's bad. But I think Josh Gad's going to be good. But this movie was just failed to be funny. I remember there were like lots of punchlines that just ended up being like so like dead, and the audience didn't even laugh. But like it just failed to be funny. Which was surprising because it was the same director as the first one, and Tim Story, and he also directed Ride Along, which was actually hilarious.
You'll see that in our
honorable mentions for best. Number 4. Oh, sorry, that's my phone. I just need to check. Oh, sorry. So number 4 is 3 Days to Kill with Kevin Costner. Now, this movie actually looked pretty exceptionally good, but this movie, can't even tell you how bad it was. First of all, I did like Kevin Costner. I didn't think there was a problem with him. I hated Haley Steinfeld. I hated how it took place in France. And it felt like it was just, we'd seen this in enough movies already. Amber Heard was, oh god, disgusting. The only reason why they picked her to be in the movie was because she's like hot and stuff. And like she's eye candy for guys. The movie didn't even end up making money.
I mean, I didn't see the movie, but it sounds pretty bad.
It was a dry plot. And it was just so bad. I hate how it took place in France. I mean, that was just disgusting. Well, no offense, not disgusting. But like, I just wish it wasn't international. And like the whole movie, you just heard people speaking in French, and it was just disgusting.
Maybe we should put this in like 2 videos.
Yeah. So, but
number 3.
Wait, I'm not done talking.
Well, stop checking your phone.
Sorry, I won't look at my phone again. Look, I'll flip it off. Look. So, and I didn't like how it was too romantic. But yeah. So number 3.
Lucy.
Scarlett Johansson and Morgan Freeman.
The funniest part of the movie was like
the end, when she turned into a computer.
And like when she was like in that like prison cell and she was like flying everywhere.
That
was hilarious.
The movie was so bad that it was hilarious and we laughed the whole movie.
It was funny.
And it was the biggest waste of an hour and a half I ever went to.
It was the same thing with A Man of Steel. It
was
so bad.
But Man of Steel was even longer. It was like 2 hours. Like,
we were laughing the whole time. We almost got kicked out of the theater. It was so funny, making jokes the whole time. The movie was so stupid. And Lucy was just the same, just a shorter version of Man of Steel.
And it was like an hour and 8 minutes long. Like, even when I looked at the runtime before I saw the movie, I know this is going to be garbage. Like, because it's just too short for a good, like, I mean, there are lots of short, good movies, but still, like, I don't know. And the whole story just went all over the place, and all you saw on the screen was like gooky stuff, and it just got weird. And at some points, like there was this weird music that was just pointless, and they talked about like the beginning of humanity, and then just started to get overly insane. I didn't know what was going on in the screen. I didn't know what I was looking at.
I think they were trying to make a new version of like the Matrix. In a way.
Yeah, but Matrix there's nowhere near the Matrix.
Like when they were in the hospital and those like guys, she was like making them like fall and. Like,
yeah, but the ending was just so disgusting and just like weird.
Like she turned into like a computer.
She turned like she knew everything in the world. Like she was a part of everybody, and I hate how she made time
stop. She turned into like the internet, like a quote from AMC Movie Talk.
That was just so bad. Number 2
is Nightcrawler.
Yeah, David didn't see this one, but I did.
I do not want to.
Now, I know a lot of people say this is one of the best movies of the year, and I know it's going to be up for a bunch of awards because a lot of people liked it. I thought it was going to be the best movie of the year.
It looked really good.
It looked so good, and I don't know what throughout the movie, it wasn't like the acting I hated, but it was the way the movie ended, and just how the whole movie fell through and the events that happened. Like, I did love Jake Gyllenhaal, and I did love his acting. I think he deserves an award for his acting because he was really good. I love how he acts like a psycho, but this is why I hated the movie so much. I didn't like how just because he was a psycho, he got like awarded for everything he did. He started to become more and more of a psycho, and like he did the wrong things. Like he went into houses, didn't care that people were dead. And yes, I will spoil the end for you because this is one of the reasons why I hate the movie.
It was like a weird ending.
Yeah, he let his partner die just so he can get a videotaping, and no one arrested him. I hated the course of events. I wish it ended in a different way. It was god awful. Don't go see it. The only thing I liked was Jake Gyllenhaal's performance. I was really upset because it looked like such a good movie, but... Number 1!
Transformers.
No, dude! I was gonna give a drum roll. But anyway, everyone hated this movie. Transformers: Age of Extinction.
Terrible.
Did you really have to even say the name of the movie? I mean, just by saying the word garbage, you know what we mean. I mean, if you look the word up in the dictionary, garbage, they show a picture of Transformers 4. The trailers were fantastic.
It looked like it was going to be, like, really awesome, but then it just ended up...
It was just a repeat of the second one. I mean, this is like the timeline of Transformers. So, the first one, okay. Exceptionally good. Second one, garbage. Hunking piece of garbage. Third one, probably one of the best in the series. I know a lot of people didn't like the third one. I thought it was good. The fourth one, worse than the second. The worst in the series. I don't... But it ended up being one of the highest grossing movies of the whole year. And one of the highest grossing movies of all time. It made like $5 billion. And that means they're making like a fifth, a sixth, and a seventh. Mark Wahlberg is going to be like all three of them. And I hated how they went to Mark Wahlberg. I mean, he couldn't carry the movie. He wasn't that good. I like Shia LaBeouf better. I mean, I didn't like how they just added hot girls and stuff. That girl in the movie was so bad. And the funny guy, what's his name? He was in Big Hero 6. He plays the dumb guy with the blonde hair, but I forget his name. But he was so funny, but he died so early in the movie. And the movie was so bad. And the ending was so bad. It was so long. So long. It was like 2 hours and 45 minutes. That was like 165 minutes. And we had to sit in that theater for hours. And it was so unrealistic. And they overly did the CGI for all of the Transformers.
I think the only part that was kind of cool was like that dinosaur part, how they created it.
Yeah, at the beginning, yeah. But like... I didn't like the end when, like, Optimus Prime, like, jumped into space and he's like, well, I'm gonna find the creator. Like, that's just a stupid storyline to set up the Transformers 5. And it was like, the whole point of the movie was just to set up the problem for Transformers 5. It was like, nothing happened in the movie. Stanley Tucci was actually good. Stanley Tucci was good. But the movie there was too much happening at once. It was the worst movie of the year, we're sorry to say. And this movie is already, this video is already 25 minutes, so we're going to have to cut it. We're just, right now, after we make this, we're gonna make best movies because we don't have enough time. But yeah, so just wait for that. And yeah, but thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment, like this video, and tell us if you agree.
And subscribe to my channel.
Yeah, and subscribe to David's channel.
Expert Awesome 5305.
Yeah.
A space between the expert and the awesome.
Alright, so thank you guys very much for watching. Leave a comment and subscribe for more.